This Jeep is only like 2,500 pounds compared to the modern day Jeeps that range between 4,000 and 4,500 or even. These are called non-directional tread, and that was designed by the military so that you couldn't tell whether we were coming or going.
So this time of year is just freaking amazing. And we are in this World War II Jeep that Mike has restored, and it is just crazy cool to be in it, in this Jeep, man. It's amazing. We're going over some pretty significant rocks here. Maybe we'll shoot a video on the way down of what we're going through instead of you seeing us rocking back and forth here in the Jeep. Wait, gotta shut my door again, Mike.
No, we're not.
They're training here. Look at this, man. Climbing like nobody's business, man. That's a 50 cal we have right there.
Drive it like you stole it.
Hey everybody, it's Eric with Muscle Cars with Eric coming at you today, and I have got a really cool opportunity. We are doing a Veterans Day tribute video, and I got a really cool cat here named Mike Farnham. And Mike, you've been kind enough to let us video this World War II frickin' Jeep. So Mike, tell us about the Jeep. And first of all, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're both veterans, but thanks for restoring this vehicle. And tell us about the Jeep, man. This is cool ass shit.
Well, thanks for having me, Eric.
You're welcome, dude, anytime.
I'm honored to be a part of this veteran tribute. I love it.
What's up with the Jeep? I mean, why a World War II Jeep? Of all the other vehicles you can do, probably can't do a tank, but a Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay?
No, we can do tanks.
Oh, really?
I know a guy that has one.
Right,
for me, I was around some of these when I was a kid, 10 years old-ish, and I just fell in love with them.
Okay.
And I've always wanted one. And when I was in the military, the entire time I was in the military, I would surf Jeep porn, old Jeeps.
Gotcha.
And, you know, I just set my mind on owning one day, and now I do. And I restored it.
You said Jeep porn?
Yeah.
Is that like Pornhub for Jeeps?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
Just looking for Jeep.
I got you.
I had a guy in Europe asking me for serial numbers on Fort Jackson because he was a Jeep restoration nerd too.
Wow.
He's like, can you get serial numbers? I'm like, sure, I'll get you a few.
Cool. Right on, man. All right. So anyhow, we got this here, and it has the rope.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, look at how skinny these tires are. I was looking at that when you were, when I was following you down here. Yeah. And I forgot just how skinny those tires are.
They're skinny.
And they were designed to go through anything, weren't they?
They pretty much were. These are called non-directional tread, and that was designed by the military so that you couldn't tell whether we were coming or going.
Oh, that makes sense.
But they get really good traction, and the vehicle is so light. This Jeep is only like 2,500 pounds compared to the modern day Jeeps that range between 4,000 and 4,500 or even over 5,000.
Right.
So she's pretty light. She'll float on the snow and the mud and everything.
That's
of course,
pretty
this
cool.
is the tow rope that I would use to recover either myself or somebody else.
Right. Now we have 2I114 CAV, and we know what CAV is, but what does that nomenclature there mean? Sure.
So the 2 stands for the second, I is the infantry division, so 2nd Infantry Division, 1st Squadron, 14th Cavalry Regiment. Okay. And then over here you have Crazy Horse 14 or C14, Charlie 14, but my call sign was Crazy Horse 14 or Raider 4.
Gotcha.
And this was the number of the vehicle that I had blown out from under me in Iraq in 2004.
No kidding. Well, I'm glad you survived that.
2003, December of 2003. Yeah.
Now I see these 2 lights here. This light here, is that a turn signal or is that a night light?
It's a blackout drive light.
Gotcha. Okay. I remember that back in the day. Yeah.
It's for driving at night so that people can see how far away you are from them.
Yep.
And then this is the desert cooler. Being in Arizona, my Jeep would overheat. The way this engine is all set up, when it purges water, it just dumps it out on the ground.
Oh,
so this was invented by the British Special Air Service back during the Africa campaign. They used 155 artillery shells. They would braze them and connect them to the radiator so that when it would overflow, it would overflow
there, and
then when it cooled off, it would put it right back in. And so I built that and put it on there.
So now can we pop this hood and see what this massive engine is?
Well,
is it a 396 Hemi? No,
it's an L what? No, the Corvette engine. No, it's an inline 4-cylinder, and forgive me, it's not 100% perfectly.
That's fine.
Restored. Like that oil filter is not original.
Yep, that's okay.
There's a few. K&N filter's definitely not original.
Right.
We're stuck on something.
We're kind of stuck on a cord here. There we go. All right.
So, but you know, for the most part, it's pretty good. It's been converted to 12 volt. They originally had 6
volt,
volts.
yeah.
And they had a transformer, or rather a, I forget what the box is
not an
called.
alternator or what it was. A
the other one.
condenser? No.
No.
Whatever it was.
Is it generator? I don't know.
Could
Anyway.
be generator. Oh.
It might have been generator. Yeah. So my buddy Doug Gannon, he's a matter of fact, Doug was an Air Force vet. He was a C-17 crew chief. And
Okay.
amazing guy. He rebuilt the engine for me. I rebuilt everything else, including the transmission. And he did a fantastic job. It's still running today. It's
Now,
an original.
what's manufactured the engine?
So, well, that's a great question. So, the engine is called the Willis Go Devil inline 4-cylinder L-head engine, but, and it's, did I say 60 horsepower?
I think so, yeah.
But Ford and Willis, so Willis couldn't keep up with the production demand during World War II. So the War Department ordered Willis to surrender the blueprints to Ford. Willis made over 360 some odd thousand of these Jeeps during the war, and Ford made 277 and some change thousand of these Jeeps.
277,000.
Yes. And
that's an awful lot.
The big difference between this vehicle and a Willis is really only this front bar right here. On this one, it's a upside down C channel.
Okay, I see it right
On
there.
a Willis,
Yep.
it's a pipe. It's a bent, round pipe.
Okay,
and
I
then
gotcha.
you'll find F-stamped bolts like this one right here. You know, the signature of Mr. Ford.
Okay, yep, right there.
The F script. So most of the bolts and nuts on this thing have F stamps.
Gotcha.
All over it.
Well, let's take a look at the inside of this thing.
Sure.
I mean, look at it from the outside. It's so small. I mean, my goodness, this thing is a little teeny tiny little crafty little bugger.
They wanted something that was small and lightweight that could carry personnel.
The bugs out here are nuts, man. That's why see me keep swatting at them. They're crazy out here right now. Yeah. And we got wind too, don't we?
Yeah,
a little bit of breeze.
Nice breeze, thank goodness.
All right, so now these are really super comfortable seats.
Oh yeah,
they were comfortable, weren't they?
They recline.
Yeah. Talking to my buddy out there. Yeah, they were comfortable. Yeah, yeah. They recline. Yeah.
I got the air conditioning on here.
I see that. Yeah.
And I actually have. I can lift this windshield up too, so I have more air conditioning.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. A little bit of a bullet hole there.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Got
strafed by a what, I don't know, a Japanese Zero or a German Stuka. Got a little grenade there for when things get hairy. You know. Never have too many grenades.
Nope, you can never have too many grenades. Now that's the brake release right there?
Correct, that's the emergency brake.
Okay.
It's a 3-speed.
And all these are original gauges for the most part? Original style?
I won't say that.
Original style?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha, all right. Yep. Original.
Yeah, those are the original data plates. As you can see, it says Ford right there. It's a little hard to see, and I probably need to clean it up so a little surface rust.
All right.
And it's got the serial number, the date that it was born. She was born on May 15th, 1943, so she's 89.
Now, this served in the Pacific or the European theater, or did it make over?
I don't think
overseas?
so. And the reason why I say that is because if you look right here, I got a couple extra fire extinguishers. This area right here is where the machine gun mount plate.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Underneath here, in the frame, there's a super big steel plate with holes drilled in it. And if this had had a machine gun mounted, it would have had these holes drilled into the tub. And
I see, okay.
So I think it served probably either in Fort Lewis, Washington, or the Yakima, complex.
Okay.
And it probably served light duty, driving around some commander or some first sergeant.
Gotcha.
Who knows? I don't think it went to war.
All right. Man,
I guess I could tell a better story, but I don't want to lie to you.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's fine. Look at this. What are these?
So these are reproductions.
D-Stone tires?
Yeah. These are reproductions. There's a lot of companies that actually still make these. And D-Stone.
I'll be damned.
They got some that are actually perfect reproductions of the military.
It's got a GI can. So what is this here?
This is a canvas water water bucket.
Okay.
So the cool thing about a bucket like this in the desert, when you fill this with water, it gets wet, and as the wind blows across it, it cools it down. So the water is nice and cool.
That makes sense.
But this one is obviously kind of old and shot. But it is a 1943, which matches the Jeep.
That's very cool.
And this is a jerry can for fuel.
Yep, of course, yep.
Yeah. I got this canvas from a guy in Europe whose family had 2 World War II Jeeps, and they own a seamstress shop and heavy machines, so they would buy American canvas. And they tore apart one of their old canvases from one of their original Jeeps to get their template, and they build these and they win awards. This little pucker you see right here, if you look at all the old World War II photographs, you'll see that pucker. And a lot of people who do these reproductions, they can't
pucker up.
They can't get it. They just don't do it.
Oh, we do.
So this company's making they're winning awards.
That's pretty cool. Now look, this is this old school World War II?
Yeah, that's original.
Really?
If I'm not mistaken, this is also a 43.
Now, what is this plate back here?
This is a wooden backpack, and it was
Okay.
designed for carrying water cans or ammunition or radios.
No kidding.
Yeah, you can put anything you want on it.
Holy crap. Old school GI canteen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Old school frag grenade.
Yeah, it's just a lighter.
Of course, yeah. That's pretty cool. Cigar lighter.
Yeah.
Now, what is this?
It's just a bag,
pouch?
you know. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, a butt pack
All right.
or...
Fanny pack to call
yeah.
now?
Yes, exactly.
It looks like you have some of your off-road tools here. You
Yep.
have an axe right there.
Yep, and a shovel.
And then you have a shovel right there.
Yep.
Look at this. Now, for those of us that are in the military, we know, but what would that...
That
what's
is the Sergeant First Class,
Yep.
or an E7. The
Yep,
E ranks
E7.
go E1 to E9.
Yeah, that's
And,
an E7.
That's what I was in the military. And the 2nd Infantry Division patch was one of the combat units that I fought with. I also fought with the 1st Armored Division during the first Gulf War in 90, or 89 and 90.
Now, what's up with Jane?
So my wife named Jane. She calls her my mistress.
Okay.
And
Wait a minute. Mistress signifies bank. So I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
If she's your mistress, okay, how deep did you have to go into the pockets for this?
so this is going to be on YouTube, and my wife
Okay.
could possibly watch this someday. So the answer is, I don't know. And the truth is, I really don't know, because I have a box full of receipts that I've never sat down and done math. I never have. And
I think it's because you don't want to know.
you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, but the beautiful part about it is that it's yours.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
I love this thing.
Oh, I bet you do, man.
I get so much
This
joy.
is just so... Okay, let's go back to Jane.
Yeah.
All right, so, hey, Jane.
So it's G.I. Jane when she's running, and
Okay.
when she's not, she's Jane Doe.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so you see this little boo-boo right here?
Yeah.
So I had a fire in my instruments when I was first restoring this. I had
No kidding.
I had
Electrical fire thing or something?
Yeah, I had a faulty instrument, and it shorted, and it caught a fire, and my wife was in it.
No way.
Yeah, and
That's
so
never good.
So it burned the paint off. So I need to actually strip that down and repaint it one day.
That
But
looks good though. It looks like it's kind of like the real deal.
Yeah,
the
I like
hood
the
here
texture of the
has
clothes.
has a few little dings
Yep.
and dents in it
Yep.
here. Now,
Right here.
what is this nomenclature here? The USA 203-82109.
Yeah.
Is that a designation for something? Or is that just like the VIN of this particular vehicle?
this was no, it wasn't the VIN. All these vehicles were issued to their units. So let's say they were issued 100 of these.
Okay.
They were also issued a list of 100 numbers, hood numbers.
Okay.
And then it really was up to the private in charge that day of which Jeep got what number.
Oh, I gotcha. Yep.
So this number this number was pulled from a database. There's a bunch of guys on the internet who do the research and understand the year, make, and model.
Okay.
And they know that the numbers that were issued based on those born on dates.
I gotcha.
Like mine was May 15th, 1943.
Okay.
So they issued some number, and what I did was I went on and I said, give me a number that would be representative of this birth date of this Jeep.
Very cool.
And they gave me this one, and I ran with it. So
Nice,
it's not
nice,
necessarily.
nice.
Nobody knows exactly what numbers they would have really gotten. But this
Gotcha.
is an accurate sort of a depiction. And like all of this paint, you know, every person who was told, here's the regulation, here's what it says, it has to
Right.
be so big, it has to be so far from here and here.
Right.
But the bottom line is, they did it however the hell they wanted.
I know.
It's really supposed to be all the way up to here.
Is there a light?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've seen so many that were like this that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it like this because I like it here, not all the way up to 1 foot and 1 inch of the cowl.
So you were in the military.
Yep, 23 years.
Okay, you're in the Army, and off camera, we're chilling at your house for a little bit. Your casita, which is freaking nice. Thanks for the booze, by the way.
You're very welcome.
Wait, this is a kids' family show. It's thanks for the booze, anyhow.
Yeah, Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid. Yeah, it was Kool-Aid.
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
What did you do in the military, and did you use this in your particular role?
Sort of. When I came in '84, we had the M151 series of Jeep, which was, I believe, a General Motors product. It was all aluminum unibody.
The Jeep I had, transition. We talked about the transition from the Jeeps to the Hummers, right?
To the Humvees,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And I went from Humvees, then I went to Bradleys, and then I eventually ended up, well, I was a drill sergeant. I was a reconnaissance soldier. I was a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout and a platoon sergeant, but I was also a drill sergeant for 3 years. And I ultimately, when I was done being a drill sergeant, they said, where do you want to go? Because you get to go pretty much wherever you want, because
Okay.
it's hard to, you know, it's 18 hours a day,
Right,
9
right.
weeks straight.
Yeah.
And I said, I knew that General Shinseki had this vision of a medium weight brigade deployable anywhere in the world in 96 hours or less. And I said, I want to be a part of that unit because that's going to be a history-making unit. Yeah. So I went to Fort Lewis where they formed the first interim brigade combat team.
No kidding.
And we trained on German Fuchs reconnaissance vehicles, which was a lot of fun.
Wow.
They're wheeled armored personnel carriers.
Sure, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they swim too. They have propellers on the back.
Yeah.
Anyway, we trained on those because we thought it was going to have to be some kind of a lightweight rubber wheeled vehicle. So we did that, and then when they ended up adopting the Stryker platform.
Yeah.
And I have the unfortunate honor of having lost the very first Stryker ever to a improvised explosive device in a place called Samara, Iraq.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, me too.
Yeah, I'll bet you are. You're probably more glad you're here than I am, that's for certain.
Life's got another flavor, brother, I'll tell you.
Well, we want to share this with all the veterans out there. So is there a message you want to give to our fellow veterans?
Yeah, stay involved, guys. Do something. You know, get out there, go to school, volunteer. Just do something. Just reach out. Don't let the trouble and the tribulations of trying to transition back into the civilian sector get you down. Okay. There's light. You just got to find it. You just got to go for it.
Exactly.
Have fun.
All right. Hey man, this is Eric, Muscars with Eric, and we are in this Jeep with my buddy Kyle and my new best friend in the whole wide world, Mike, right here. And we're gonna go tackle some terrain in this crazy World War II Jeep, man. Let's go. Tight. Here we go.
We're in 4 low, baby. This thing will climb a tree now.
Right on.
We're gonna go for that hill over there. See if I can scare the shit out of Eric.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
Oh, yeah, you can if you want to.
Oh, yeah. That's your door. Oh yeah, close the door.
Oh yeah.
You're letting the bugs in. You're letting the bugs in.
Is this that 430 air conditioning we got going on here?
Yeah.
Or 415 or whatever we're doing?
Yeah. All the air conditioning. Well, I don't have this. I don't have it on full blast.
Do you have the heated and ventilated seats too?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
With massagers.
Dude, hey, the foam in this thing is this big. That's it.
Yeah.
This is cool though. We're ready. We're ready for war.
Yeah, I sure hope this thing can go this hill. I've never tried this before.
Didn't you say you've been up this hill?
Uh-huh.
I know my Jeep has been up this hill. This is the easy hill.
I'm just going to do this.
Put it in first?
Yeah. Because then we can just take our time.
There you go.
Leisurely.
Tell you what, man, being out in the desert this time of year is just freaking amazing. And we are in this World War II Jeep that Mike has restored, and it is just crazy cool to be in it, in this Jeep, man. It's amazing. We're going over some pretty significant rocks here. Maybe we'll shoot a video on the way down of what we're going through instead of you seeing us rocking back and forth here in the Jeep. Wait, gotta shut my door again, Mike. Got some ridge lines. Look at this. Let's
This
give it a
is
rest.
why we won the war, boys.
Telling you what, right? This is it. That's what they say, right? This and people. All right, now we're gonna shoot a video us going down the hill. This is cool stuff.
Nope. Okay, we're gonna go in just gear now. No, we're not. Just in gear. There we go. Now we're in gear.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Sometimes she pops out.
Yeah.
See how nice she is in gear, though?
I'm telling you.
Isn't that crazy?
This is cool.
Does it scare you a little bit?
I wasn't sure what we're gonna do there, but I figured you had it all under control.
I do.
This is neat, man.
Transfer popped out. I don't know if you did it or what.
Oh,
Maybe
I don't know if I did or not. I could have when I got in their training area. And look at this, man. Climbing like nobody's business, man.
With your boy.
Dude, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's fine with an animal. Hey everybody, it's Eric with Muscle Cars with Eric coming at you today. We are doing a very, very special Veterans Day tribute video, and I've had a really cool cat here named Alan Gaza, and we are looking at this really cool military vehicle behind us. So briefly, Alan, what is this vehicle here?
This is a 2007 Stewart & Stevenson M1084A1R.
What does that mean?
It means it was a reconditioned, upgraded suspension, coilover suspension, bigger C7 Caterpillar motor, as well as some upgrades throughout the rear suspension, higher driveline angles, just a little bit of everything on it.
All right, cool. Now, what is this? Hey, wow, check it out. Is that a 50 caliber up there?
That is a replica 50 caliber.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Similar to what was used on this vehicle during its deployment.
All right, so when was this vehicle used, or is it currently being used?
This is currently being used. They're being
Not
used.
this specific vehicle,
Yes.
but this vehicle type.
Yes,
Gotcha.
this vehicle is currently being used typically as a restock supply vehicle for the HIMAR missile system. So this brings out 24 missiles to the HIMAR trucks and deploys them so they can use them for combat.
Now those HIMAR missile trucks, is that those like those rockets that go like
Yes.
that? Okay, all right,
Yes.
cool, very cool. Now this loads how many per load or per what do you call, rack or something like
Rack.
that?
It's going to be 2 pods on the truck with 6 missiles each, or 12 missiles on the truck, and it'll have a trailer, dual axle trailer that'll hold another 12 missiles, 2 pods.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, and normally in a battle type of a situation, how many of these vehicles would you consider to be deployed at one given point in time, or does that depend upon the action of that necessary campaign?
It's probably dependent on the action as well as how many units are deployed or how many divisions are deployed.
Okay, okay, all right. So normally how many troops would this typically support in a combat operation?
I don't know.
It's tough. Okay,
I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
But I would say it's probably supporting 2 to 3 trucks at all times.
Okay.
Of
Very
the
cool.
HIMAR missile trucks.
All right, gotcha. All right, super. So now you were in the United States Army?
Yes.
How long were you deployed?
From 1983 to the end of 1987.
Okay.
I was in the 194th Training Brigade, 573 Armor in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and then moved to Mainz, Germany, and was in the 469 Armor, which got converted to the 434 Armor under 8th Infantry Division.
Okay. Now how many years total were you in?
4 years.
4 years? Okay, very, very cool. Now, what possessed you? I mean, realizing collecting military vehicles is really super cool, but what prompted you to want to collect this specific type of a rig?
I've had a little bit of everything from Cut V's Blazers to 5 tons to a 10-ton semi-truck, and this one as well as a current Humvee. It's about living military history, educating the public, educating people that the vehicles aren't bad. It's preserving, talking to people that are getting out of high school, looking for a career. Just have a path for the future, get an education in the military, and just what this vehicle did in the military. And there's jobs from drivers to medics.
Right on. All right. Well, since we're talking about education, which you touched on, why don't you take us around and educate us about
Sure.
this truck? This is cool. So this is a big old truck too.
Oh yes. So this truck was built in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
By Stewart & Stevenson. It uses a cab which is very similar to the HIMARS cab. The Steyr cab, and it's a cab forward design. Get you closer in front, better approach angles, higher climbs.
Right.
It does have a central tire inflation system on it, so you can air down for mud, you can air up for the highway, snow. Everything is done while you're driving.
That's pretty cool.
And then right here you have your control center for the hydraulics. So in here you can lower your spare tire down. The tire is rated about 425 pounds.
Oh my.
The suspension, this is so it can be loaded into C5A. You hook up hydraulic cylinders to the front axle here in the chains.
Up in there, okay.
And then basically what you do is you use that knob there and you'll pull the front end down, and then you lower the rear tires. And then the rear tires, by getting that down to like 4 to 5 inches lower, it does fit in a C5A for quick deployment.
Okay.
You also have the cab lift, lifts the cab up so you can get to the engine, work on the motor, and
cool.
And
all
system.
this stuff is done right here.
Everything is done right there.
That's pretty
And
neat.
it's based off of an air over hydraulic system.
Okay, very nice. All right. Wow. Is it possible to see if one of these things can be moved or,
Yes.
or not right now?
We can.
Which one do you want to do?
We'll do the cab tilt.
Okay.
So we want to do cab. Okay, so tilt. And what we'll do is we'll push this button here.
And that activates the air. So it provides air pressure
Air pressure.
to the system, and the cab's moving right there.
And normally what you'd do is you'd have the vehicle running for full air pressure.
I got you, yeah, but it's too noisy, so. All right, well, we got a pretty good idea. And so this lifts up the whole cab.
This lifts the whole cab.
So you can actually
Sit up on the
access.
engine and work on it.
Very cool. Wow. Look at that. We don't have to do that
Okay.
much. I just want to show people what it was all about. Now you turn this knob here
And
to
then
release the
lower
air
down.
pressure, and it goes down. Very nice.
And then it will lock it in place so the cab doesn't flip forward during a hard brake stop.
That's kind of important not to flip forward, isn't it?
Yes.
Now this is diesel fuel here, right?
This is diesel. It's 58 gallons. So the military builds all their vehicles for a 300-mile range.
Okay.
So the size of the tank is based off a 300-mile range.
I see. Okay, and of course every vehicle is different.
Oh yes.
Okay, gotcha. Now what is this right here?
This right here is where you'd store the bedsides. So
Oh, okay. These here would
When-
slide into here,
Yes.
right up here.
when you would have the missile pods
They
on the
slide
back
in
here,
here.
you
Okay.
wouldn't be using the sides, and
I
they
see.
slide in. So that way, if you're on deployment, you're not having to leave the sides out in the desert somewhere and have to come back for them. They're always
I
with you.
understand. Okay, that's good. That
No
makes
lost
sense.
parts.
Right, that's good.
And then here's your ladder to get into bed. So it just pulls out. And then you set the sides down and the ladder will hook into the top of the bed.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. This is about 5 feet, the bed height.
Yes, it's close to, 60 inches bed height.
Oh, definitely
5
feet.
foot.
Yep. Look at the size of those springs.
Oh, yes.
Now, I know there's tonnage and whatnot. What kind of a ton vehicle would you call this? Like
This is a
15 ton or
This is actually just a 5-ton.
5 ton? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And they rate it based off our off-road capability, 5 tons.
I understand. Okay, that makes sense. Now this, because you have 6 drive wheels, it's called a 6x?
It's 6x, yes.
6x, okay. All right. Wow. Can you imagine? Man. Now this is pretty cool. What are these right here?
So all this is the operator crane. So you have a HIAB 133 ATD crane that was designed specifically for the U.S. military.
Okay, now that's that crane right there.
That's that crane right there. It'll go up to 17 foot 1 inches.
It'll extend 17 feet 1 inches?
Yes.
Wow.
And at 17 feet 1 inches, it's 5,500 pound lift capability.
That makes sense, sure.
And at 9 foot 2 inches, at 9,600 pounds.
That makes sense.
So-
Naturally, the longer the boom is, the less weight you have, because otherwise it'll snap the boom.
Yes, and here's your control center here to turn it on. And also it's controlled with a remote control at a little bit of a distance.
Okay.
And then all your levers are here are based off of your crane controls here, what
I
you
see,
want to
okay.
move.
Up, down, in,
Yes.
out, left, right, and it obviously it turns.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have your outrigger here, which this one's up, and I have the other side down.
All right. So now we got to get a chance to see this crane kind of move and
Of
operate?
course.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right.
One thing they did a little different on the back here is with the crane on the back, the A1Rs, this is one of the modifications. This pinto hitch slides out. So you can
Okay.
get it further away from the trailer and you can make those tight turns.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Wow, that's pretty cool. And this is the outrigger, of course.
Yes, this is the outrigger.
For stabilizing purposes. All right. Now it looks like you have a control there as well. Does that control just the outrigger here? Is that what that does?
This is supposed to control, yeah, it's just the outrigger on this side.
Okay.
This vehicle was purchased as a slight rollover, and
Okay.
these knobs are broken off, so I'm waiting on those to come in.
Okay. Okay. All right. Wow. This is pretty cool. When you step back from this thing, I mean, this is huge. Now what do we have here?
This, you have your 3 air tanks
Okay.
for the air brake system as well as the cab lift.
Okay.
You have batteries in here as well.
Gotcha. That's a pretty deep battery box there. How many batteries does that have in it?
That has 4 batteries in it.
Okay. Wow.
And here's your hydraulic oil tank for the crane, as well as if you did have the winch on this vehicle, it would supply the winch.
Gotcha.
You have your air cleaner up here,
Yeah.
and then you check all your fluids.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It's all located right there.
Yes.
That makes sense. It's a lot easier to do it that way than any other way. All right, cool.
And then this is part of the A1R features is the upgraded coil springs.
Okay. Let's take a
Do you want to take a look at the inside?
Yeah, we do. So you got all sorts of controls up here, and obviously we know what the brakes are and things of this nature. And you have your HVAC controls over here, and this obviously checks your grade, your angle, so you make sure. I see the red, so
Yes.
obviously you would not want to deploy the crane if it's in either one of the red areas, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Now, we have this here. It looks like panel dim. These are just your lights.
Lights, yes.
Okay, and then of course you have your volts, and look at
Oh,
that.
yes.
That's pretty cool, man. And to give you guys a perspective, hi Alan. He's down there, man. I'm sitting up 5 feet off the ground, right? A little bit more than that on the seat.
A little bit more on 5.
Probably about almost 6 feet off the ground. And take a look at that. You can just see tons and tons of stuff. And like you said, it's cab over. So you look right out the window of the cab, and you are actually at the very, very front of the vehicle, which is really cool. Now you have a looks like a turret up here.
I have the turret up there with a current plate over it just to protect it.
Right.
And then you
That's
have...
you would access your 50 cal, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, where would the ammunition? I saw that ammunition bucket up there,
Yes.
the thing. But do you have other ammunition you would store elsewhere?
Typically, they would store it on the floor inside here.
Okay, actually, okay.
And I do have the commander seat there with the
Right here?
seatbelt system. That seatbelt system raises up, so when the gunner stands up, the seatbelt's always on the gunner, and the bottom of the seat folds up, so he has a nice platform to stand on, so he's not standing on the seat. And the
Very nice.
seatbelt goes up with him.
I see. So in case he does this,
Yes,
he's safe.
He's still safe, yes. Wow. And typically on the back side of the wall, there's M16 mounts, which would be for Army carries M4s.
Right.
So you'd have 3 M4s in there, one for each, for the driver, the passenger, and the commander.
Okay. Very, very cool. All right. So this is the perspective that I have from the back end of this particular vehicle, and here's the crane and the boom in its stowed position. So again, this can be put onto a transport aircraft without any problem at all. And what we're going to do is we're going to get up here close to this 50 cal. That's a 50 cal we have right there, and that's a really cool looking 50 caliber, and that sits at the top of this particular vehicle here. And again, this is looking out from it, and this is looking out the back end of it there. All right, so right now we're getting ready to operate the crane, and I have the stationary camera set up on the other side of the vehicle, but we're here now, so we're talking a little bit loud because obviously it's a diesel engine. But I gotta ask you, what's the displacement of this diesel engine?
This is a 6.7 liter
Okay.
Cat C7 diesel.
Gotcha. All right. How many horsepower would you say?
330 horsepower.
330 horsepower,
Yes.
and the bit's torque is what, 500-600 horsepower?
800.
800 torque?
Yes.
It has to be with a 6x, doesn't it?
Yes.
I bet this thing just rarely ever gets stuck.
I haven't had it off-road yet, but
Yeah, I mean, you
they're
have your
very
auto
capable.
inflate, you have low pressure for mud,
Oh, yeah.
higher pressure, medium pressure, whatever you want, right?
Yes.
And you can also alternate the pressure between the different tires?
No,
Or is it all the same?
all the same.
Okay.
That's a manual process.
I understand. All right, Elspeth. Well, show us what we got here, man. Let's do this.
So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and go up with the crane, with the boom,
Okay.
and show you the height it'll go. And then we're going to extend it up. That's extended.
How far out is that?
Well, you're looking at
17 feet?
foot from the pivot there.
From the elbow?
Yes.
Right there. Out
Yeah.
there, 17
Yes.
feet. That's quite a distance.
And so the total height is probably around
28 feet,
28.
thereabouts.
And then
Wow.
what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rotate it around. And this does about about a 355-degree rotation, and then it stops. It doesn't do a full rotation.
Gotcha, because you don't want, because the cables have to be rotating with it, don't they? Oh wow!
And a lot of these designs are by Hiab, so it does fit into that C5 for transport.
Now you mentioned you have some other vehicles too. What do you got?
I have a 2006 1152 Humvee, ex-Marine one.
Okay.
Doing a full restoration. It's a ECV, which is extended capacity for carrying. It's supposed to be up armored. It never did get up armored.
Okay.
It was in a 2-door configuration, and actually I'm building out to a 4-door configuration.
Wow.
With light armor. Would be the X doors, the armored top, and basically using it for car shows, parades, veteran support events.
That's cool. Right on. Right on. Very, very cool. Well, listen, man, it's been a sincere pleasure here. So, I don't normally say as we're wrapping up, but I got to say as we're wrapping up because it's a Veterans Day special. What do you want to say to the veterans out there, active duty military, anything regarding what you're doing with the restoration vehicles?
Thank you for your service to begin with, to all veterans, all ears. We're here to support you. Come out, visit us at car shows, veterans events, talk to us. You want to help on vehicles, we have 3 clubs here in the Valley. Desert Warriors, Arizona Military Vehicle Collector Club, as well as Arizona Military Transport Vehicle Club in the East Valley.
So now we can reach those via Facebook, or you have websites?
We have websites, we have Facebook.
What's the #1 website you want to tell about?
ambcc.com or
ambcc.com
or armytrucks.org.
Gotcha. All right, very, very cool. Yep. Well, folks, Alan, I got to say thank you very, very much for this opportunity. It's an honor and a privilege, and I just really had a great time. Hopefully you guys out there enjoyed it too. Remember what to say in Eric's Garage, and Muscle Cars with Eric, drive it like you stole it. Until next time. By the way, happy Veterans Day, y'all.
Happy
See ya.
Veterans Day.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that last video. I hand selected a couple videos for you to watch right now. Click here.